Hi YouTube fam, my name is Benis and I'm a degree nurse. In today's video, I'll be doing a tutorial on how to check manual blood pressure. So please, if you are new here, you're highly welcome and don't forget to subscribe and share. Stay tuned. There are various steps involved in taking blood pressure measurements. When viewing a blood pressure dial and listening to a stethoscope, you must be able to coordinate what you are hearing from what you are seeing. Just imagine if you record a patient's BP as normal, whereas it is extremely high. It's gonna be funny, guys. The patient can develop stroke just because you were inaccurate. This video will help you achieve accuracy when taking blood pressure. By the end of this video, you'll be able to interpret the gradation markings on the dial, determine systolic and diastolic blood pressure by reading the dial and listening to cough sounds. If you have ever had your blood pressure taken, you would have noticed that they record it as, for example, 120 on 80. The number above, which is 120, is known as the systolic blood pressure, while the number below 80 is known as the diastolic blood pressure. The dial has the letters mmHg because blood pressure is measured in millimeters of mercury. There are two large lines of the same sizes, but there's one with numbers and one without numbers. The one with numbers represents values of 20. As you can see, 20, 40, 60, and so on. The one without numbers represents values of 10. And the smallest lines represents values of 2. As you can Now let's use the arrow to determine the number displayed on the dial. Concentrate on the tip of the arrow and the line that it's pointing at. Now, how much does this line represent? If you read it as 90, you are correct. Now, how much does this line represent? If you read it as 120, you are correct. So now, how much does this line represent? If you read it as 86, you are absolutely correct. Great job. Now that you can read the blood pressure dial, there are two main areas you need to focus on when reading a blood pressure measurement. The first one, the position of the arrow on the dial. The second one, the cough sounds. During blood pressure measurement, when you reach at the position where you need to slowly deflate the curve to listen to the cough sounds, you notice that the arrows moves in an anti-clockwise direction. It is at this point that you need to listen carefully to the cough sounds. Upon hearing the first sound, note the position of the arrow and record. That is the systolic blood pressure. As the curve deflates and the arrow continues to move, you will continue hearing the cough sounds, listening closely to the last sound. When you hear the last sound, note the position of the arrow and record. That is the diastolic blood pressure. Well, on that note, I think you have learned how to determine the reading and the gradation markings on a sphygmomanometer dial, and also learn how to determine the systolic and diastolic blood pressure on a sphygmomanometer dial. Well done, and please, if you find this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe and share. Thank you. Bye bye.